First things first, ladies and gents, a quick update from yesterday's video. Look at this industrious young doctor. He has only just finished a surgical procedure on a train passenger this afternoon, and yet he is already hunting for new patients. Look at that, he's even keeping his surgical mask on so he can, do an impromptu surgical procedure on a nice old lady while she's out doing her shopping. Today's news is eventful, but it's 2024. The world's gone officially mad. It's always eventful. Man arrested after multiple women say they were punched in the face whilst walking on New York City streets. Well, as Sad Sack Kant said, it is all part and parcel of living in a big city, isn't it? Eric Adams, he was all about importing hundreds of thousands of fighting age men, completely unvetted, from all four corners of the globe, and then casting them out onto the streets, wasn't he? Wasn't that part of his platform when he was running? Sounds to me like you've got exactly what you voted for, ladies. See, democracy does deliver. 4 knuckles into your face at 50 miles an hour. Okay, brilliant story today. The weird thing about this one was all of the stories on TikTok from these middle-class white women who got punched in the face were quite vague on descriptions, which probably, if you've been paying attention, gives you a description. But basically, if we were playing Guess Who, I would win every time. Because I'll give you a clue. If they don't tell you what the bloke looks like, your next question shouldn't be, is it Ed Sheeran? No, definitely not Ed Sheeran. Police on Wednesday arrested a man on assault charge following a recent string of unprovoked attacks reported by women across New York City in which they said a stranger approached them and punched them in the face. Skiboki Storer of Brooklyn was arrested in connection to the attack of at least one woman this week as she walked the streets of Manhattan. According to police, a 23-year-old woman told them she was walking in the vicinity of West 16th Street about 10:20 a.m. on Monday when an unknown individual hit her in the head. Just over a week earlier, on St. Patrick's Day, about 1.5 miles from where the assault took place, police said another woman reported she was attacked in a similar fashion while walking a dog. Nearly a half dozen women also report being punched. And obviously you've got your TikTok videos of them here. I can't be bothered going onto TikTok. It is a tumour on the bollocks of humanity. But fortunately we can see them all via X.
You guys, I was literally just walking and a man came up and punched me in the face. Oh my god, it hurts so bad. I can't even talk. Literally, I fell to the ground and now this giant goose egg is forming and I'm like,
oh my god, I was literally just walking and I literally got punched in the face and I literally fell to the ground. Can you figuratively fall to the ground? There's something similar about all these women as well, isn't there? It could possibly be motivated by... Nah, there's no chance. No chance. The assailant was a pasty ginger from Aberdeen. Everybody knows that. They're the only people that attack women. Paulia, what did the guy look like? Nobody wants to tell you what he looks like. You know what he looked like. Shut up, Michael. That's just the type of thing Mussolini would say, right? Everybody knows that. And not even the orange Mussolini, the real one. You know, the one that none of the people that call the orange Mussolini actually know anything about, what nation he hailed from, what his first name was, or what regime he was involved with. Yeah, that one. And here's another good article. Punch Talk rattles New York women. Is that the name of the game? Punch Talk? That sounds like a really, really shit board game, doesn't it? What should we play, Dad? Scrabble? Connect 4? Punch Talk? I'll just play the Nintendo. And there's a bunch of cis-het tradwives. None of them have coach bolts fired through the tongue or lumescent purple hair. So I'm sure the average BBC journalist will conclude they definitely deserved it. And obviously this has dragged on for long enough now, so let's get to the crescendo, shall we? Clearly nobody wanted to show you a picture of or describe what the attacker looked like for obvious reasons, so we'll get the New York Post to do it. One of the only media sources that will actually face the mirror. Shall we? There he is, big surprise. This scrawny bag of bones, Sergeant Major, have that man placed on double rations immediately. He was the guy who was going around lamping women. He was a fringe political activist and a candidate, and doubtless was so far left he would make AOC look like a jackbooted German paratrooper barnstorming across Europe. So there's probably numerous reasons why nobody wants to talk about the obvious. And as always, it's time to sum up, because some of you will be sitting there going, but Bootneck, what was the point of this somewhat puerile video? Well, I'll tell you what the point was. A mayor with a spinal column could fix this problem in a week. In a week. It's not like the NYPD is understaffed. You get them all fell in on the parade square at 0800 on Monday morning and you tell them, boys, the gloves are coming off. It is time to grind the criminal fraternity underneath our iron shod boots. If you put hands on a woman, we will put 10 hands on you. Rudy Giuliani managed it, but Eric Adams can't for some reason. This namby-pamby idea that the best way to deal with criminals is by appealing to their better nature, when most of them have got the moral fibre of a meth-addicted, degenerate, gambling crack whore, doesn't work. They don't care what you have to say. They don't care about you pleading with them. Basically, does it work? If it doesn't work on a micro level, it doesn't work on a macro level. If your granny comes home from the bingo, lets herself in, and is greeted by a young man in a garish shell suit with her biscuit tin full of cash under one arm and a television set under the other, if she says, "Come on, son, please don't take my biscuit tin full of money," how likely is he to go, "Well, I'll tell you what, I went through an awful lot of trouble kicking your conservatory in and climbing through the smashed glass, but I'll tell you what, your sincere words have moved me, dear lady. Here, have your biscuit tin and television back. I'll tell you what, I'll even set it back on the wall for you." Has that ever happened? Does pleading with criminal scum generally produce results? I'm just asking you. When a rapist starts cutting a woman's clothes off with a machete, how many times has she went, "Please don't horse one into me, Mr. Aggressive knife-wielding sex offender"? And the bloke's gone, "Hey, I'll tell you what, excellent point, well presented. I'll just be off then, shall I?" It doesn't happen. So if it doesn't happen on an individual level, it doesn't happen on a collective level. We need to bring back the policing of the 1980s, which usually involved firm but fair police officers occasionally giving you a good pasting in the back of the van. And when you got to court, he tripped on a bit of loose carpet in the station, governor. Right, I'm sorry to sound as if I'm embracing policing tactics that I don't genuinely approve of, but this is a comical channel and I am only half joking. Alright? Sort it out. The same can be said for every major city in the Western world. Doesn't matter whether you're talking about Los Angeles or San Francisco or London town. London town! And now it smells like burning tyres and arseholes. There is nothing beautiful about it. Mary Poppins would shit her knickers if she saw the clip of London town today. I never thought workhouses and chimney sweeps would be the peak of civilization, but considering how bad it's got, bring back the workhouses, please. I beg you. I wouldn't have been eating a sausage roll outside a bakery in London 100 years ago, and then the next thing, seeing a big Somalian bloke snapping one off in a public dustbin. I mean, that just didn't happen in the Victorian era. So, I don't think we've progressed. I think we've gone backwards. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm just being a prick. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Do you think London's nicer now than it ever was? Do you? Have you got eyeballs? Just asking. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all very soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.